just starts in just an easy cross-legged position. We'll start. So it's all about hip opening. You've got a lot of emotion stored in your hips, and usually you're sat down like this at a desk all day. So particularly well for now you're at home, sitting down even more, this is going to be perfect. So just really think about that breath, opening up your hips when you're working through the different postures. So just to get into the class, so you just sit in an easy position, whatever shows up for you, whether that's cross-legged, kneeling, however, whatever's an easy position. Just try not to hunch like this. Really think about lengthening through that spine, just to give us a lot of length to open up the breath. So however you fall, just start to settle into that place. And we're just going to start with 5 deep breaths. So you're going to be breathing in through your nose and out through your nose for the whole practice. So start inhaling. Start from inhaling all the way to that bottom of your stomach. Then think about the sides. So through the ribs and then all the way up to the collarbone until you can't breathe in anymore. And then exhale the same way. So through your collarbone, through the sides, getting smaller, and then finally squeezing any last breath through your stomach. Inhale again for the same pattern. And exhale. Three more, inhale. And exhale. 2 more at your own pace. And when you come to that last breath, we're just going to come on to a really easy child's pose. So knees as wide as the mat, toes touching behind you. And this posture you can come into at any point of the practice if anything becomes too trying for you, or you just need to have a bit of a rest. So you're going to walk out your hands in front of you, forehead to the floor, and just really think about lengthening from the crown of the head back to the seat bones. So inhale, lengthen, and your exhale, try and sit back even further. So you're just coming into practice, just getting ready to practice on the mat. So we're going to do a couple more rounds of breath here. Come up onto all fours. You're going to come into your cat-cow. So really think about engaging your core throughout all of this, so you're not kind of just dumping. Your shoulders are above your wrists, your knees are above your hips, and your knees are hips width apart. So in your inhale, we're going to go into cow. What you've got to think about in your inhale is squeezing the shoulder blades together, pushing the tailbone down, and looking ahead. On your exhale, you're coming into your cat, so really squeezing the abdominals together. You can look towards your navel. You're really spreading those shoulder blades apart by pushing into the mat. Inhale into your cow, so squeezing the shoulder blades together, down your back. Exhale, cat. Two more rounds. Inhale. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale, cat. So draw your belly button to your spine. One more round. Inhale, cow. And exhale. Come back to all fours with your neutral spine. And we're going to come into our first downward dog of the day. So things to think about. Spread your fingers. Make sure your index finger is facing straight forward. And then your elbow creases are facing forward as well. This is going to help to spread your shoulder blades once you're in downward dog. Tuck your toes and think about drawing your abs to your spine and your hips to the sky. And on your exhale, go up to your down dog. Make sure your neck is nice and relaxed. You're driving your hips to the sky. You've got a lovely long line from your tips of your fingers all the way to your tailbone. You're drawing your ribs in so they're not hanging out, you're not arching your back. And you're spreading your shoulder blades. To help you spread your shoulder blades, think about pulling your thumbs together. That'll activate the front chest and help you pull your shoulder blades apart. Make sure your neck is nice and relaxed. And however downward dog shows for you, the most important thing is the hips are to the sky. So whether that's heels off the floor, knees bent, to give you more space, to draw your hips to the sky. That's absolutely perfect. And we're going to stay here for 3 rounds of breath. Inhale. Think about lengthening through from your fingers to your tailbone. Push that mat away. Final round. Inhale. Exhale. So we'll start to open up our hips. So raise your right leg to the sky, making sure your hips are square. Your little toe is still facing the ground. Bend your knee, so your foot is now, the heel of your foot is upwards. And then drive your knee to the sky. So like your wing on a lamppost. Make sure your shoulders are still square. Both hands are still pushing down the floor at the equal amount. Both feet back to the mat. Same on the other side. So inhale, raise your left leg to the sky. Make sure your hips are square. Bend your knee and take your knee to the sky. Both hands evenly through your mat. Exhale, both feet to the floor. Inhale, come to the tiptoes. Exhale, look forward at your hands and step to the top of the mat in as many steps as it takes to get there. Feet about hips width apart. We're going to come down to our rag doll. So that's thighs to the chest to the thighs, holding on to opposite elbows, just hanging out here. Important that your thighs do meet your chest. So bend your knees as much as you need to. And you can just rock out in here, shake your head, yes, no, shake from side to side, just really relax that all. And then roll up to standing through your vertebrae. Roll your shoulders down. You're back. So we're going to come into our sun salutations. So your feet are together, you're a mountain. So you really need to think about not arching like this, not arching like this, anytime you're in a standing posture. So you're just thinking about drawing the frontal pelvis towards your midline, so your midline's like your belly button. And that will just help you come into a neutral spine. So I might give that cue throughout the class, so just think about pulling that up. So you're in a standing posture, your feet are together, your shoulders are rolled down, just nice and relaxed away from your ears. Inhale, arms to the sky. Make sure you don't arch that back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees. Make sure your chest is to your thighs. Inhale, half lift. So you can put your hands on your shins, on your thighs, wherever it is that your back is now straight. And you're looking at the front of your mat. Your abs are drawn in. Exhale into high plank. So place your hands. Step back however you want to get to high plank. And just hold here for a second. So really thinking about drawing the pelvis up to that midline again to really stabilize your abs. Your shoulders are above your wrists. Make sure your fingers are spread really wide. You're almost pushing away from the mat, so your shoulder blades are protracting, so they're arching. One more breath here, inhale. And you can come down to your knees now, or stay with me. Come over your shoulders, and then exhale all the way down to the ground. Your elbows are going back. Forehead to the floor. Inhale, cobra pose. So your forehead is coming off the floor. You're squeezing your shoulder blades together. Exhale, forehead down. We'll do that again. Inhale, forehead off. Squeeze the back body. Exhale, forehead down. One more time. Inhale, forehead off. Take your hands off the mat just so you know that you haven't been pushing any weight into the hands. Exhale, forehead down. We're going to come back into all fours. Tuck your toes, down dog. I'm going to hold here for 3 breaths. So remember, thinking about push away your hands all the way to the tailbone. Internally rotate your thighs, so the inner thighs are rolling back to the back of your room, the back of the mat. Squeeze the thumbs together, draw those ribs in. Make sure your head is nice and relaxed. Final round of breath, inhale. Exhale, look forward, bend your knees, step to the front of your mat. Feet together, inhale, half lift, so your back is straight. You're shortening the distance between your heels and your bum. Your abs are rock solid at this point. Exhale, forward fold over the thighs. So your chest and thighs are touching. Inhale, arms to the sky. We're going into our second round of sun salutations. Exhale, forward fold, thighs to the chest. Inhale, half lift. Your back is straight. Exhale into your high plank. Hold here for one more breath. On your next exhale, you can put your knees down or come forward over your wrists, over your shoulders, over your wrists, and lower down on that exhale. Going to inhale into our cobra, so forehead off of the floor, squeezing the shoulder blades. Exhale. Tuck your toes. Come back through all fours to your down dog. Hold here for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Think about lengthening through from your tips of your fingers to your tailbone. If your heels are off the floor, take your heels down to the mat as much as you can. On your next exhale, tiptoes, bend your knees, look forward, and step to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift, back straight. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Final sun salutation. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, the same exhale, we're going to go straight from a high plank down to the floor. Same exhale. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, forehead to the floor. Through your all fours, back to a down dog. Hold here for 3 breaths. So you should be opening up a bit more through those hamstrings. Remember to squeeze the thumbs together to engage the front body and try and separate the shoulder blades. Final round, inhale. Exhale, tiptoes. Bend your knees. Step to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raise your arms to the sky and come down with your hands together. So you should be feeling a bit more warmed up now. We're going to go into our first flow. So similar at the start. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Bent knees. Inhale, half lift. Exhale. This is called Vinyasa. So you come to your high plank. On the same exhale, you lower to the ground. Inhale, cobra. Exhale to the ground. And if you can push all the way to down dog here. If not, go through your all fours. Tuck your toes. And we're all meeting in down dog. Inhale, raise your right leg to the sky. Make sure your hips are square. Exhale, you're going to bend that knee. Come onto the tiptoes of the left foot. And bring your knee to your nose. This is tiger curl. Do that again. To three-legged dog, so your right leg's going back to the sky. Exhale, tiger curl, knee to the nose. Inhale, three-legged dog again. Final time. Exhale, tiptoes, knee to the nose. Step through to a low lunge with your knee on the floor. Inhale, raise your arms. Exhale, we're going to come into half splits. So fold over that front leg. I'm going to hold here. Try to walk your hands out as much as you can. Think about lengthening your back rather than hunching over like this. So think about lengthening through from your lower back. It can help if you look at your big toe. One more round of breath, a nice big inhale. The calmer your breaths, the calmer your central nervous system. Come back into your low lunge on your inhale. We're going to come into a warrior two, so you're going to tuck your toes. Take them into a diagonal, so your toes are coming almost diagonal to the top of the mat. And then sweep your hands up into your warrior two. So really important here, your knee is over that front ankle, and that knee is driving to the pinky edge side of the foot. So like almost like that rather than in. So we're in warrior two. Think about the weight coming to the center rather than leaning over like this. And squeeze the inner thighs together. That will just make sure that everything is completely fired up. Your shoulders are coming square to the side of the mat. We'll hold here. Final round of breath. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to inhale and reverse. So you're going to come over that front foot. Turn your palm to facing the sky. And reverse. Try and keep that front knee as bent as possible. Nice big deep breaths. On your exhale, we're going to come into triangle. So I step my foot in slightly. So it's just however you like to practice. Give it a go. On your inhale, we're going to reach all the way forward and dump into the back hip. Make sure you're firing up both of your quads and then come down to triangle. So whether that's you're holding onto your shin or if you have like a water bottle or anything nearby, you can hold onto it. And you're thinking about lengthening the side body, so you don't want to be crunching like this. On your inhale, you can be lengthening. Exhale, twisting. Make sure both legs are doing as much work as the other one and look up to the sky, to that top hand. One more round of breath, inhale. Exhale. On your next exhale, reach that top hand to the front of the room, and you feel that stretch all down the left side body. Come to the front of your mat, just twisting forward. Place your hands to the floor into a low lunge with your knee up, and then come back in to your three-leg dog. Just simply bring that right leg off of the mat as quietly as you can into that three-leg dog up in the sky. Leg returns down. The other side. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Make sure your hips are square. Exhale, tiger curls. You're on the tiptoes of your right foot. You're drawing your knee to your nose. Doming through that back. Inhale, three-leg dog, so that left leg back to the sky. Exhale, tiger curl, knee to the nose, doming through that back. Inhale, three-leg dog. Exhale, final time, squeezing the knee to the nose and stepping through to that low lunge with your knee down. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, the half split, so you're coming over that front leg. The left toes are facing the sky. I'm just going to hold here, slowing the breath down, opening up the hamstrings. Try to lengthen through that back rather than arching too much. Final round, inhale, exhale. On your next inhale, we're going to come forward back through to that low lunge. Tuck your toe into that warrior 2 feet. So your back leg, the toes are pointing diagonal. Inhale, into that warrior 2 again. So remember, the knee of the left leg is driving out to the little toe edge of the foot. Thinking about square shoulders to the side of the mat. Make sure that back leg is firing as much as the front leg, nice and straight. And you're squeezing your inner thighs together. Looking over the front fingers. On your next inhale, we're going to come forward into reverse warrior. So palm to the sky of the left hand. And then come backwards into a nice side stretch. Keeping that front knee nice and bent. Inhale, triangle. So again, I'm going to bring my foot up. You can stay where you are. Inhale, as far forward as you can. Exhale into that triangle. So the T shape of the hands. Think about lengthening on your inhale. Exhale, twisting so all of the side ribs, so that's the underside, the left side is coming out and twisting to the sky. Hold here for another inhale. On your exhale, that top arm raising going to the front. So you've got a nice stretch down the right hand side. Placing your hand down into low lunge. Palms to the floor. Pick up that left foot into your three-leg dog. And place to the floor. Now we've got 2 more rounds. I'm going to do less instruction. Inhale, three-leg dog. So that right leg is going to the sky. Exhale, tiger curl. So your knee is to your nose. And step through to your low lunge, back knee down. Inhale, arms raise to the sky. Exhale, over that front leg for the half splits. Inhale, tuck your back toes, warrior 2 feet, into that warrior 2. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, step up into your triangle. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Remember to put your hand on anything, whether that's your shin to keep you nice and stable or a block. Next exhale, that top arm comes forward. Twist the front into your low lunge. Pick up that right foot into three-leg dog and back to the floor. Other side. Inhale, left leg lengthens up to three-leg dog. Exhale, tiger curl, knee to the nose. Step through to low lunge, knee down. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, half splits. And if you can, walk even further forward this time so you're even more over that leg. Inhale, tuck your toes, warrior 2 feet. Into warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist to the sky. Make sure both legs are firing. Next, exhale, that top arm to the front of the room. And come over that front leg into your low lunge. Palms to the floor. Pick that left leg up. Three-leg dog. Down to meet down dog. One round on either side. Inhale, three-leg dog, right leg goes to the sky. Exhale, tiger curl, knee to nose. Step through to your low lunge. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, half splits. See if you can walk your hands further. Inhale, tuck your back toes, warrior 2 feet. Inhale, into warrior 2. Inhale, into your reverse warrior. Exhale, into your triangle. Next, inhale, reach forward. Exhale to the floor, low lunge. Inhale, back to three-legged dog. Meet your other foot in downward dog. Final side. Inhale, braid your left leg to three-leg dog. Exhale, tiger curl, knee to nose. Step through to your low lunge, knee down. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, those half splits, so you're coming over that front foot. Inhale, back to the low lunge, tuck your toes, warrior 2 feet. Circle up into a warrior. Inhale, palm to the sky, reverse warrior. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, that top arm to the front of the mat. Exhale into your low lunge. Drive that left leg back to three-leg dog and meet in your downward dog. At this point, you can come down into your child's pose just to take 3 rounds of breath, just for a bit of rest before we go into the second flow. The second flow is just to move on from what we've just done. So just take 2 more rounds of breath here in your child's pose. Just calming down the breath. Okay, now we're going to meet in down dog. So similar than what you've done before, so you're all familiar. Inhale, right leg to the sky, make sure your hips are square. At this point, we're going to bend our knee for the scorpion tail. So dog wing on the lamppost. And then you're going to come onto your tiptoes, tiger curl again. So knee to the nose, low lunge, put your knee off of the ground. Make sure you're driving your right hip back and to the center. At this point on your exhale, we're going to come into a pyramid. So your left heel is still off the floor, and you're driving your right leg straight. Again, wherever this is, work within your practice. Don't try and push yourself too much. If you fire up your quads, your hamstrings will open further and you can bend over that leg a little bit more. Look towards the big toe. And then we're going to come into crescent lunge. So you're going to bend that front knee and drive your hands straight up to the sky on your inhale. Bend that back leg. That's going to help you not arch your back like this. You're going to be bringing the frontal pelvis into the midline. Exhale into warrior two. Inhale, reverse, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. So your right arm is coming down to your right knee. That left arm is going over the top, straight to the front of the mat. You can either be looking just straight ahead, looking towards the tips of your left hand, and really think about, again, driving the pelvis, the frontal pelvis, to the midline, so you're not dropping your bum out. You've got everything stable. Your ribs aren't just driving forward. They're nice and supported inside the body. Some deep breaths here. Make sure your shoulders are nice and relaxed, you're nice and open. On your next inhale, we're going to come up to our warrior two. Reverse, but straighten the front leg this time. Cartwheel your arms down to a low lunge. Take that right foot back to your high plank. At this point, then we're going to come into a side plank. So roll the ankles over to the left. Take the right arm to the sky. Drive those hips up so they're nice and high. Take your top leg to the sky if you can. Come back into your high plank. Through Vinyasa, so exhale, shoulders over your wrists. Press up all the way down to the ground. Cobra, inhale, your forehead off the floor. Exhale, through to your down dog. Other side, inhale, left leg to three-legged dog. Bend that knee, open up into scorpion tail. On your next exhale, right tiptoes, draw your knee to your nose of that left leg, through to the low lunge, your knee off of the floor. Exhale into your pyramid, so you're driving that left leg straight. Your heel of the right foot is completely off of the floor like you're in a stiletto. And you're looking at your big toe, that's going to stop you arching your back too much. Nice big deep breaths here. On your inhale, you're going to bend that front knee, drive your hands up to the sky. Exhale into your warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. We've done this a lot. Exhale, that side angle pose. So your arm is coming, that left arm is coming to the left knee. Right arm is straight overhead. You're looking towards the fingertips, or just straight ahead. You're driving the pelvis all the way to the midline, so you're bringing that in, you're putting your bum out. Staying here, nice deep inhale and exhales. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, think about that left lung twisting to the sky. Next inhale, we're going to come into your warrior two. And reverse your warrior with a straight front leg. Exhale, cartwheel your hands all the way down to the floor, framing your leg, low lunge. Take your left leg back into the high plank and come into the side plank on the other side. So your left hand is coming to the sky. Whoop. Nice deep breaths here, driving your hips to the sky. You can raise that left leg to the sky if you can as well. And then come back to high plank, into that low push-up. Come over your shoulders, over your wrists, lower down, all the way to the floor. Inhale, cobra, so forehead off of the floor. Exhale, head to the floor. And then come back into your down dog. Couple of rounds of breath here, so making sure that the tips of the fingers to the tailbone really lengthened. You're pushing into the mat with your fingertips. On your next exhale, we're going to raise to the tippy toes, look forward, bend your knees, step to the front of the mat, forward fold, so just hanging out here, half lift, straighten that back, forward fold again, and just roll up through the vertebra to standing. Just going to do a standing pose here, coming towards the end of the practice, so tree pose. This can show up in different ways. You can either just be here, you can be on your calf, not on your knee, or into your thigh. However you do it, you don't want to be dumping like this, so really think about squeezing that bum cheek in, driving that knee out. So if you start with your right leg up, and you can put your hands in any position you want, so whether that's hands together like this, arms to the sky. One more round of breath, inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, we're going to bring that knee back in and then take it all the way out in front of you. So you're driving that core in, you're squeezing it all to try and squeeze that leg up. 2 more rounds of breath, inhale. Exhale. Make sure that leg's as high as it can be, inhale. Exhale to the floor. Other side. So again, this might be different this side, but wherever your foot needs to be, on your calf or into your thigh, make sure you're bringing all of that side in. You're not just dumping into it. Everything's activated. That standing leg is nice and activated. The bent knee is driving to the side, driving backwards to activate the glute. Just try and slow the breath down. Final round of breath, inhale. Exhale. Draw that foot back in, and same as the other side, straight out to the front. Inhale. Try and squeeze all of that core in to keep that leg up. inhale. Exhale, foot down. Okay, keep it at the top of your mat. We're going to come into a chair pose. So toes touching, heels apart. You can also practice with your feet at hips width apart if the toes touching just doesn't feel right. And then you're going to sit back into your chair, so driving your hips back. The pelvis, the frontal pelvis, it's important that it tilts forward, so again into that belly button, and your hands to the sky. So inhale, shoulders away from your ears. Really think about squeezing that in so you don't have that arch in your back. You're driving everything in. I'm going to hold here for 3 rounds of breath. So this is the only chair pose we're going to be doing, so you can think about coming down to your depth. One more round of breath. Inhale. Make sure you can see your toes. Exhale all the way to the mat. So you're just going to come and sit on your bum here. Okay, now from here we're just going to simply roll down to the floor into a bridge. So your feet are on the floor, knees to the sky. You should be able to touch your heels with your hands, and your heels can be placed to the outer edge of the bum, outer edge of the hip, sorry. Hands touching your heels. We're going to come into bridge. So inhale, bring the hips up. Think about shortening that crease like at the bottom of your bum to your knees. Think about shortening that distance rather than height. So you're kind of almost bringing your bum forward of the mat. Think about rolling your shoulders down your back and tucking under. So you can even do this by interlacing your hands behind your back. Make sure your chin's not tucking. And you're keeping your knees nice and stable. Think about squeezing those thighs together. One more round of breath. Inhale. Exhale to the mat. Just relax. You can windscreen wiper the knees from side to side. We're going to do one more of those. So place your feet again. So feet can be the outer hips width apart. You're touching your heels with your hands. On your inhale, you're driving your hips to the sky. Think about shortening the distance behind the knees to that crease of your bum. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. That might even look that you can interlace your hands behind your back, touching the mat. Nice slow breaths here. Make sure your thighs are still active, they're still drawing together. You're not tucking your chin. Last inhale. Exhale to the mat. We're going to come into a supine twist. So left leg straight, right knee to your chest. Just come onto that left hip slightly. So you're tucking that hip under. That'll help you just twist over. Right knee is driving towards the left side, and you can use that left hand to just drive it down into that twist. Your right hand is going straight out in a T to the side, and you can look towards that right hand. Try and get that shoulder down to the floor. So if it's coming off, just come out of that twist a bit. You can use your breath here, so that exhale, just think about twisting further. Come back to center, straight over to the side, so right leg down, come onto that hip, left knee into your chest and twist over. So your left arm is out to the side, your left knee is folding over to the right. Think about bringing this left shoulder to the mat. And you can look over at that left hand or just the sky, wherever your neck allows. Think about softening with every breath. Any tension in your face, in your neck, in your jaw. Final round of inhale, exhale. Come back to center. Hug your knees to the chest. Take your forehead to meet them as close as you can into a tiny little ball. And into your final posture, savasana. So your feet are as wide as your mat or a bit wider, hands away from the body. Just roll your shoulders back and down your body so you've got a nice broad collarbone, and just relax here. Just a couple of minutes just to help all of those muscles just work into the practice that we've done today. Just let your breath go back to normal. Release any tension from the jaw, from behind the eyes, just soften all of that area. Any thoughts that come into your mind, just think about blowing them away, just like you would a cloud. They're just transient. It's okay to think things, but just try and get rid of them as quick as you can. This time is just for you, and just to be able to be here in the moment, not thinking about anything after or before. Now start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Start to come back into your breath. Waken up your body. Do a big morning stretch, so arms straight out to the back of your mat, away from your feet. Lengthen that body as much as you can. Roll to either side, whatever's most comfortable, bending up your knees and just rolling over. Use your arm as a bit of a pillow. And then whenever you're ready, just use those hands to lift you up into a seated position. And that's the end.